Goalpost. I'm your host, Oluwamayawa. I'm not alone. I have Temilolua making a return. Collins and Solomon will probably be joining us much, much later. How are you doing, Temilolua?
Yeah, I'm doing good at fine. I'm doing fantastically well. How about you?
You know, a whole lot to digest. I mean, we saw exactly what happened yesterday. I mean, today is all about the World Cup. But before today is all about the World Cup. But before we go to the final, let's start from the third place. England, France. It was an harvest of goals. 10 goals were scored. Saka coming up with his first hat trick in his first World Cup. What do you make of that performance? And do you think England could have brought up that same performance against Argentina in the semi-final rather than what we saw in the final in the third place?
Well, I think France were uninterested in that third place playoff. They were very uninterested, and you can see it in the way they played. You can see it even in the way they set up. You understand the way the attitude of the players was just there. You could see the players smiling unnecessarily. You understand? Despite conceding goals, you see them smiling. You see the likes of Mbappe smiling. You understand? You just have this feeling that these players are not interested in playing this particular competition. You understand? Particular round. You get, but it doesn't take away the fact that England played well, but also you need to consider the fact that France did not even go to that game with a clear intent to win it. You understand? But the game changed in the second half, but the damage had already been done in the first half, and France tried to play high line. So second half, they just had to turn up, and it was very, very interesting, very, very interesting game of football. For England, I'd say they only got as much simply because France were not interested in the game. Watching the game, England didn't play anything special. You understand? They didn't play anything special. They were just long balls behind France defense, long balls behind France defense, through passes behind France. You understand? So it is because France came out with an high line setup. That is why they can play like that. If France had played the way they played against Spain, I'm not sure England would get anything out of the game. But not to take away the fact that Saka got his hat trick, fantastic milestone for him. You understand? Getting an hat trick in the World Cup is not something very easy, and we know some players that have not done that in the third place before. They've not even gotten to the semi-final, let alone have an opportunity to even get the goal at it. But getting an hat trick, fantastic performance. You understand? Wonderful game of football. We saw Harry Kane even struggle. You understand? But this is Saka getting an hat trick too. Wonderful game of football for everybody, and for France, it's just back to the drawing board. That was Didier Deschamps' last match for France. It didn't end well. It didn't end as expected, but then from going from 4-0 down to playing 6-4, I think for we neutral fans, it's a wonderful game of football. 10 goal performance.
Um, I mean, that's very fantastic. Welcome, Collins. Collins is here. I mean, what do you make of the performance between France and England? Um, I mean, in that same performance, England was in the lead 4-0, and France almost came back until, Jude Bellingham and the rest came up. Comparing the performance of England in the third place and their performance against Argentina, what do you think Tuchel should have done different? Because we saw the impact of, starting a Rashford and the rest of that, having a whole lot of impact in that particular game. What do you make of that performance? And do you think, Tuchel made a mistake with the lineup against Argentina?
Um, Good morning, Mr. Mayo. Good morning, Mr. Tim. It's very wonderful to be here. No, there was no mistake in the lineup. I knew there was no mistake in the lineup that Tuchel played against Argentina. The lineup was okay. I mean, we also the squad he took the World Cup, so it's not like we were expecting him to magically perform wonders. You understand? So he played what he has. You get. And the midfield of Elliot Henderson and Declan Rice, I expected it to work. It worked. You understand? We also what happened. This is not a case of the squad he puts and the squad that he didn't put. You understand? They had the game. They had the game. The game was theirs. You understand? Till Tuchel decided to become a coward. He decided to just give up. Not okay, not let me not use the word give up. He decided to just play it safe. You understand? Wow, because he scored one goal, you now took up attackers and brought in defenders. I mean, they were defensive enough before that change. They were defensive enough to me. They were defensive enough. I mean, this is the Thomas Tuchel I'm talking about. You understand? Because of that, you now give Argentina the keys to the city. Do whatever you like. You understand? The opposition will see you doing making those changes and get the idea already. Oh, you want to defend a bit? No wahala. We'll play you like you want to defend. And we saw it. You played a team that has Lionel Messi, Lautaro Martinez, Enzo Fernandez. You understand? Players that can hurt you from anywhere. Okay, if those players are not getting to the ball, they can shoot from outside. And we know that you cannot defend those outside areas. We know you cannot defend those outside areas. When it comes to winning duels, England try. You understand? And the one aspect I think they will try and beat Argentina in, which is aerial duel. That's what it is and score the winner. Can you see the irony? They can't defend the box. They can't defend the box. It's about things I know that when it comes to aerial duels, when it comes to aerial chess, England try. They can try. You understand? Somebody as short as Martinez now scoring header. You understand? Against giants that are in the box. So it was very disappointing because this is not a case of Tuchel fielded the wrong squad or he played the wrong squad or he played the wrong team or anything. He didn't. You understand? The match was flowing perfectly. It was flowing perfectly before that goal. Sorry, after that, yes, before Tuchel did those changes he made. You are 1-0 up. Doesn't mean you should defend with so much time left. Yes, with so much time. If it was maybe stoppage time, we understand. But you have like how many minutes? Was it how many minutes left? Enough for them to even score the third goal, make it 3-1, and you decided to pull everybody out and defend. That's passing a message to the opposition. And after that, I don't think England did anything meaningful. Okay, after that, I think Kane had a chance, but after that, nothing came for England again. So this is not a case where England Argentina didn't even do anything special. They didn't do anything special because I did not rate them. I never rated them going into that match, and they were about to prove me right. Till Tuchel decided to do what is in his head. Do you understand? So I'm not giving credit to Argentina for anything. I'm not giving credit to Argentina for anything. And we saw that in the final. We saw the reason why I'm not going to give Argentina credit for anything. We saw the reason in the final. They are nothing. Do you understand? Tuchel on the other hand, honestly, that guy. My guy be that, but it is annoying. You had this match. You could have won this match, and you decided to defend. You understand? So I'm not even going to stay here and say this is the lineup Tuchel fielded. No, that is not a case. Not a case of lineup or anything. They played well. You understand? They played well, and they lost because of Tuchel stupidity. You understand? So um, I feel like the match in the first because I was already seeing England in the final. Let me know when I was seeing my boy with James being a World Cup finalist. You understand? Even if he doesn't win it, at least he takes second place for Tuchel hit us. So it is what it is. Yeah, me too, sir.
That's interesting. Can you adjust your camera a bit? It's just cutting off. It's cutting off your head. I think it's better that way. Okay. I mean, you said something that Tuchel ate England and the rest of that. A whole lot of people in England, they have issues with a German coach taking England to the World Cup. But the big question is this: do you think? And I'm starting with Imulua. Do you think um, Tuchel is the right person to take England forward? I mean, they've said they are going to retain him till the next Euros. Do you think he has what it takes to take England forward in terms of the performance we have seen so far?
Prior to now, I've spoken about it, and I said there is no national team that wants to grow that uses a coach from another nationality to grow. It doesn't work that way. Yes, we can see the work that Spain did The manager is a Spanish manager or the coach is a Spanish coach. We can banter Argentina for all we care. Their coach is an Argentine. You understand? We can see the Deschamps of France. You get, so if you want to hit the ground running, you understand, you need an indigenous manager. You understand? So I don't see Tuchel taking England anyway. You understand? I don't know why people are praising all of this like as if it is something new. Under Southgate, England got to the semi-final, so it's not a
Yeah,
new
that's true.
achievement. It is not. It is not a yardstick to say because Tuchel is around, that's why we are there. No, you understand. So they've been there before. Under Southgate, I think they got to the finals of Euro also. So it's not.
Two
It's
times,
not
two,
as
two
if
times
it's
in a row.
something new. You understand? So it's not as if it's something. It's not as if getting to that place is something new. It's not as if getting to that place an indigenous manager cannot do it. They can. You understand? But I don't see the way Tuchel plays in when it comes to football. Sometimes you need technically gifted footballers. You understand? Spain doesn't have players that can run, but they have players that request for the ball, redefine the ball, and dictate the tempo of the game. These are players that England doesn't have. And it's not as if
Hmm.
England don't have it. They have them in Adam Watson. They have them in Scott, that Bonamouth guy. They have them in Kobe Mino. But what Tuchel wants is people that can run. You understand? And how far can run? You see, just look at the way Spain are playing. Look at Rodri. Rodri cannot run. You understand? But he won player of the tournament. His influence was massive. You understand? You cannot really say that a lot for most of the England midfielders. Yes, we can say Anderson is good, but his influence in the game, he only knows how to run. He only has the lungs to run. You understand? So for Tuchel, I don't know. I don't know what the English FA see in him that makes them think he can take them forward. But the places that they've been now are places that they've been before under Southgate, and they even play much more beautiful football under Southgate than they are playing under Tuchel. You understand? Tuchel is much more of Bellingham and Harry Kane. You understand? And the style of football is not sustainable on my end. You understand? It's not sustainable on my end. The game against France, I will tell you, is because France has lost interest. If France came into that game
Hmm.
with full concentration, I'm telling you, they will knock England legitimately. You understand? So I don't know. They have coaches like Eddie Howe. They can convince Eddie Howe, you understand, to leave Newcastle and then take up the managerial job. But for Tuchel, I don't see him taking them anywhere that they've not been to before. You understand? So considering the fact that they won the third place and winning their first silverware in 66 years, well, it's commendable, but they've always been trying. They've always been pushing. So it's not as if Tuchel just came and gave them that edge. They've been close. You understand? So for Tuchel, I don't know what they've seen in him that makes them think he's the man to take them forward. But for me, you need an English manager to coach the English national team to make them progress well. Almost all top five national teams have their indigenous coaches. See Germany, they release Nagelsmann and then they have Jurgen Klopp. You understand? So everybody is having their own core people. So I don't know why England are having a German coach. You understand? But all best to them. I don't think Tuchel is taking them anywhere beyond where they've been to. Because when you even see under Southgate, they were very good with set pieces. Under Southgate, they were very good with set pieces. And I can tell you for free that if it was Southgate against that Argentina would not even score. You understand? Because they were very good in set pieces. They could defend set pieces, they could score set pieces, they were fantastic with it. But then you watch England and then you wonder what is their style of play? How do they play? The way they play is just kick ball, everybody run. Hopefully, I am wrong in the long run, but Tuchel, I don't see Tuchel taking them to the next level.
Okay. Collins, before we move to the final game, I mean, do you think Tuchel is the right person to take them forward, owing to the fact that they've already said the FA is behind him and they want him to continue?
I mean, he had they gave him certain expectations and he exceeded them. You understand? I think it was qualified from the group stages or something. He gets and he went to the semi-finals, and that's the reason they are sticking with him. You know, um, I feel like I'm going to come from an angle where the part where he said national teams should take their managers, people from their country. You get? I'm going to come from passion. You understand? Because passion can be a very very great factor. You understand? If you don't have passion and love for what you are doing, You understand? You will not do it well. You understand? Tuchel is not English. To be very honest, he's not English. He's not English. You understand? So I don't know. If you don't expect him to manage this England side, you understand? Maybe it can just maybe do it nonchalantly sometimes. I mean, it's a job. You understand? He wants to win trophies. He wants to deliver trophies. But at the same time, passion is still a factor. In as much as you want to do your job well, you want to bring out the best in yourself. You want to win trophies. You understand? But as long as love for what you are doing is there, it's going to make the work 2 times more efficient, 100 times more efficient because you are going to do it. Do you understand? And you can't be saying you can't sabi everything you do. Do you understand? You'll be a winner. Do you understand? So that's why Tuchel is always going to be a scapegoat. I've said it. You understand? Because they are waiting for a slip up. Mind you, some England fans were praising him while he was doing magic, doing this one, doing that one. When he won against Mexico with red card, you understand? They praised him. You understand? They were praising him, praising him, praising him, praising him. Now as they fell to Argentina, they are bashing him, and honestly, he deserves it. You see, if they fell on natural circumstances, maybe Argentina outplayed them and they won. Tuchel plays football and Argentina later won. I'll not. That's when you can question the critic. But this one, any critic that is criticizing Tuchel is they are right because me, we being guy, I criticized him too because that was rubbish. What he did against Argentina is very very questionable. Somebody can say, is it because you are English? It's not. Is it because you are not from our country? Is that why he played like that? I see those talks. You came to sabotage us. You came to kill us. They're calling me Hitler. You understand? So all these talks are there. You understand? So because it's very questionable. It's very questionable. How would you go from playing what you are playing? Now ask your players to defend a 1-0 lead with more than 30 minutes left to play. It doesn't make sense. You understand? So it's questionable. One will wonder if it was his country that he was managing like that, will he ask them to go back? Will he ask them to defend? Do you understand? All these things are all this talk you come up as long as it's not from their country. It's going to be a scapegoat. You understand? Yeah, he has been criticized. He has been you know honestly and I agree with everything. I agree with everything because his performance in that semi-final against Argentina wasn't it. That was terrible. That was very terrible. If it was another manager, no manager is going to ask everybody to sit back and not
Okay,
that, that,
that
that,
okay, that's fantastic.